Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish, and welcome to the Artist Haven, where home plus art equals heart. In tonight's live video broadcast, it is Tish Talk, and we're going to sit back and have some art chat with my friend Sue Ashworth.
Hey, hey. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
After today's eventful morning at work, yay! I'm relaxing. As you can tell, I've already started. I kind of got driven up the wall a bit by the boss, but hey, anyway.
Geode there?
Say again?
You're working on the geode there?
Yeah, I had originally decided I was going to do this, the coloured version of these guys.
Okay.
But I was going to do them in, hang on, in the brass. And then I thought, nah, that's a bit too much altogether. So scratch that idea. I'll use that on something else eventually. So I'm just painting in the brass work and getting quite high on the fumes at the same time. So I'm waiting for it to dry out.
End the day to go ahead and get a little loopy. So
Hey, my fireball's not only about 2 meters away from me. So yeah, that's about 5.5 feet in your language.
Yeah, a meter is about a yard in
Yeah.
my brain. So, and a yard is 3 feet. So yeah,
Yep.
kind of know what that is. Kind of. I'm not real good at
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Does get a little confusing at times.
Okay, so for our Tish
Yep.
Talk, we usually ask questions, and then at the, we have a fire or a lightning round.
Yeah.
Little thing there. So while we're doing our art, you working on your wood, I am going to do a reverse dip on this big Therapeutic canvas. So
Okay. Has it got a hole in it? It's got a little blue mark, or is that paint?
no, that's paint.
Saying that we can't hear you very well.
Hear me very well? Is that better? I wonder. I don't know. I'm having audio issues. I'm having just mental issues. So
hey, as long as you get them all done and out of the way now, you're right.
yeah. Well, and I'm just hoping nothing got broken on the trip down here. So I'm going to start with the questions here.
Go for it.
What is the name of your business if you have one, and where can we find you?
Okay, so the business name is Resin Heaven Studios, and you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook, and usually you could find me at Caboolture markets. But Caboolture markets are not allowing the people that are in the shed, namely myself and quite a few others, to go back just yet because of the dreaded C word.
We can say
that. Oh, well, we're not allowed to go back.
I'm not monetized, so I don't have to worry about demonetization.
Well, unfortunately for me to go back, I would have to go outside, and there is no hope in Hades I am ever going to do that again. Not to mention, it's bloody cold over here in winter, especially at Caboolture. I did that for 2.5 years, setting up and pulling down, and
like an outdoor tent. I got it.
Yeah, and no way. I am working on a website through GoDaddy.
Okay.
I have been looking at, what is it, a Shopify or something?
Yep.
And yeah, I'm one of these people. I sit and I ponder on things.
I call it analyzing. It's analyzing. That's
Yeah. I take a while. Like with this, I mean, you can tell I'm up to part 10 on the YouTube, and I said, nah, I'm not doing any more until it's finished. Then you can see it. So,
working on it some more.
yeah. Well, it takes me a while to get it right, and like my grandfather said, if you're going to do something, do it right the first time, so you don't have to redo anything. So
Right.
that's why I guess I sit and I look and I think. And if it does my head in too much, I will actually put it all down and walk away and come back to it the next day or in a couple of hours or so.
Well, I mean, you're
But
not frustrated with it.
yeah, so it's taken me, I think, about 3 weeks to get to this part.
Right.
So yeah, I do like to take my time with things. Some things I see it so clearly that I'll just go boom and bang, done. Other things like this, it deserves the time and the patience and the effort to do it.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. So, where are you located right now, and where did you grow up?
Well, I'm located in my garage.
Did you grow up in your garage?
No, I got dragged up. No, I'm in Brisbane, Queensland at the moment, but I'm a Melbourneite. A Melbourneite is someone from Victoria. I lived with my mum and dad when I was very little in
Right.
a little town called Yea.
Okay.
Then my parents divorced, and I wound up being moved to Reservoir with my grandparents while my mum finished up her job. And I grew up with them. Missed out on about 10 months worth of schooling because of the stupid education department. I had to be a certain age to go back to school, and had my mum known that, she wouldn't have moved me. But anyway, for 10 months I sat on my grandfather's knee and I read the newspaper, and my nana taught me how to cook and how to do cakes and bake, and then they'd take me shopping and taught me how to shop, so taught me how to budget for this. And my grandfather was a butcher, and he showed me what cuts of meat to get and why not to get the meat. And yeah, so
I think that's a lost art now. You
yeah,
know,
it is.
I think even like baking, everybody just goes to the local grocery store and grabs a pre-made cake and has them write happy birthday on it, and
Yeah.
sourdough bread, making the starter and doing all that. I think that's all a lost art, and I think you're fortunate to have that in your life. So
I can remember I made eclairs for the first time, and
making shoe paste.
actually mine turned out. I Actually, it was about the second or third time I ever made them, and I was at home at the time. I was living with mum, but this is only about 3-4 years ago, and I made the paste. We found this real quick and easy one on MasterChef, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to give that a go. So I made them up, and as per usual, I only get about one or two because while I'm at work, Mum's had one, and then she's, well, that was nice, I'll have another, and next thing you know, they're all gone.
I think I remember you saying this on a Palooza that you did.
Yeah.
That you came home. You left with like 12 there, and you came home, and there was like 3.
That was Easter buns. Yeah.
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
I remember you baking something.
Yeah, every time I baked something, it went walkabout. So, I very rarely got any of it, especially when it came to the tea cake that I used to make it when I was at high school. My grandfather had, no, that's mine. Okay, Grandpa. Okay, Pa, that's yours. Yep. Okay, sorry, Mum. Yeah. Unfortunately, by the time I got to high school, my grandmother. I think I'd only been in school about 6 months, and I lost my grandmother, my nana. She passed away, and then about 6 months later, I lost my dad. So
Oh, goodness.
yeah, they were 6 months apart. I think Nana was the day before her birthday, and yeah, actually it was my dad's birthday because their birthdays were a day apart. So yeah, she died on my dad's birthday and day before hers, and then 6 months later he was gone. So you never know, folks.
No,
You never know.
you never know.
Yeah. And I only got to see Dad, every fortnight. So yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, I know how that is to
shit,
lose your
that's 30 years. Oh my God,
dad. What's that? That
that's
is
30 years. Jeez, blimey,
wow.
bloody Betty.
Time flies, eh?
Yeah, but yeah, I know Dad's around. I know my uncle, his brother's around too. Always smell cigar smoke when there's something wrong.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, well, that's something. I have a grandmother on my dad's side. His mum, she was a tea leaf reader.
Oh, yeah?
My nana that I lived with, nana I lived with, she was a seer. And poor little old me copped a double whammy. I I wound up being a seer, and I just know shit before people know it. So, bit of a
I,
seer myself.
I get that. It's like I sometimes I just get a feeling.
Yeah,
And there's
when I
times
was,
it disappears and I'm freaking out because I can't find her. She's
mm,
gone for like 6 hours, it feels like, but it's only been like two.
yeah,
And then,
I,
And then,
was that?
yeah, and then she decides to show up. It's like, really, Kat? Well,
yeah, and she's most probably looking at you going, "What are you all going on about? I've
she did.
been here the whole damn time. What is wrong with you people?
I said,
Seriously."
like I said, I think she has a TARDIS, a little miniature folding TARDIS, because she's done this to me twice before, where she'll just
Yeah.
disappear and I'll look everywhere, like literally everywhere. It's like, how did you disappear like that?
Because I can. I have an invisibility cloak. I got it off Harry Potter.
There you go. She's the next Harry Potter.
Yep. Maybe related to Hermione's cat.
Could very well be, because she just does the Houdini and does a frickin' Pierce. So,
Yeah.
one of the questions that I'd like to ask other artists, creatives, is what is art to you?
To me, this all started out because work was getting to me. And I discovered that when I went back to work the next day, I wasn't so frazzled.
Right.
So it's my sanity, basically. That's the best way to put it. It's my sanity. It just takes me away from all the dipwits at work and yeah.
Yeah, I get
I mean,
it. I get it.
all my life I have always had people treat me differently because I think outside the box, I think outside the square, And people, they'll come up to me and they say, Sue, where's this? And I have not a clue, and yet I can direct them exactly to where it is.
Yep.
I've never heard of it before. And they'll say, Sue, what about this? And it's like, oh, well, you've got to do that and that. And never done it before myself, but, it's just, and of course, because of that, people just automatically think, yeah, she's weird.
Hey,
She's,
slap
yeah.
some glitter on that shit and let your weird sparkle. That's all I gotta say.
I get to the point where I just turn around and it's like, yeah, whatever. Or I just completely switch off because I know there's no point trying with these people at work. There's a couple of them that I will, but, some of them, yeah, it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Most of them are two-faced, so, yeah, I don't really worry about them that much anymore. I just come home and art.
There you go.
So I come home to my granddaughter, well, both, well, one at the moment. She's only 3.5, so actually I'm surprised she hasn't come in yet. She probably hasn't realised I'm home yet, so, or her mum's hiding her and telling her, no, leave Nana alone.
Aww.
Yeah. So anyway, if you all of a sudden you hear this, Nana, look up, look.
Kids.
So yeah,
my own. I'm done.
Yeah, me too.
I can give them back and say, here you go.
I can't even do that because they live with me. So yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to get rid of them then, but
Yeah, but there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros and cons. But yeah. Anyway.
So what in life gives you ideas for your art or your creative side?
Oh, I can show you that one. Hang on. Let me pull it down.
She's taking us on a journey.
Sounds exciting.
There you go. That's the idea from the geode. It's an actual geode.
Oh, wow.
And it's Argentinian. So
when you say that, it makes me think of the movie Moulin Rouge and the drunk Argentinian.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Like I said,
I think of what's the name? Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Madonna.
No, not Madonna. The actual woman. I can't remember who it was now.
The movie. The what?
Evita. That's it. Thank you, Michael.
See, Michael knows. Michael knows.
Yeah.
He's my fill in the gap kind of guy.
He's your walking, talking Google.
Kinda, yeah. When she does the talk show, I'm going to sit there on the couch and help her out. Yeah, all the tough questions.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Late night sidekick.
Definitely.
That's what she said.
There you go, baby. Now you're getting
found the button. Yeah, he's a bit late, but anyway.
It's only his second day,
I'm still trying to figure out these hotkeys here.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like an S, but I wasn't for sure. Looks more like a snake that's losing its head. So.
Okay, so she's got to get to 88% according to Shane. Right, Shane?
Oh, you guys stop.
No, it's too much fun.
It hurts, though.
It's not meant to hurt.
Well, I try and hold them in because you guys laugh. I mean, it makes me laugh louder and harder.
Jeff's in the chat. Jeff knows how I like my naps. So taking a nap.
Yeah, he's napping. No, okay. So do you have any tricks that you use to attain the goals that you set? Like, ooh, in your paint?
No, not really. I don't tend to set goals. Like I said before, I started a table yonks ago. Actually, do you remember that purple geode I showed you last week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was like nearly an 18-month venture. That one.
Jeez,
Some of the
you just let it go the way it flows. You don't have any rush. You just go.
Yeah, I just.
Hey, I respect that. I do.
If I've got another table here, it's silky oak, and I discovered that it's a half table, and I discovered that piece is one big piece of oak. It's not joined together, it's one solid piece. So I'd hate to see the size of the tree. It's huge.
Oh my goodness.
And I've had that for around the same time, and I still haven't finished it off. I think the only thing that I finished off and set a time to have finished was my countertop, which is right at the very beginning of my channel. It was one of the first things I put on the channel, and that was one thing that. Oh, here we go. Can you hear that?
Yeah, she's so cute.
Hang on. Come here. Come here. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Say, my name's Gypsy.
Yes, Kitty.
Oh, hello, Gypsy.
No, watch your hands, man. Okay, you say bye.
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 All right, you go to mummy. Good girl. Told you she'd find me.
So cute.
Bye, darling. Yeah, so she's 3, nearly 3.5 now.
Aw.
And she has a bigger sister who's Serenity, who's autistic. So is that one, actually. Just hasn't been diagnosed yet.
Is that something over there? I mean, I know Australia is a lot different as a healthcare and stuff like that. Is that something that they wait a certain age to diagnose with, or?
Yeah, they do. But because of her older sister, I didn't know it then. But then when I saw, oh, look out, here it comes again. What are? I don't know. You go ask mummy. Okay? Okay. So it was a case of when we got the girls, my daughter was involved with domestic violence.
Okay.
And when she was literally thrown out of the house, no shoes, no phone, no wallet, just a singlet top, shorts, and Gypsy was a week old.
Oh.
And the mother-in-law threw her out of the house. And Mum and I come back from North Lakes after having a bit of shopping, and here's this drowned rat in front of me. And she just broke down in front of me. When we got Gypsy back and Serenity back, took us a month to get them back through the courts. And when we did eventually get them back, one of the things I noticed as Gypsy was getting older was when she was in a chair, she would rock.
Right.
Watching the TV.
Right.
And she would move her hands like this while she was watching the TV.
Okay.
That to me just straight away, yep, warning bells. So I was determined not to let her have the same beginning in life as what her sister had, which was not very nice.
Right.
A lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of
Right.
physical abuse to the mum. When he would hit my daughter, Serenity was the first one to go up and ask if she was okay. That is not on for a 4-year-old.
No.
So, yeah. I think because Gypsy's been with us since she was 4 weeks old, us as in my mum and I,
Right.
she hasn't seen the full effect as what
Right.
her sister did. Her sister, on the other hand, only threw one of her tantrums last night, and you'd swear she was being killed. She
Right.
gets that high-pitched scream, and
Yeah.
yeah,
It,
but
it's like something you've never heard before, unless you lived on a
yeah,
farm, kind of thing.
yeah, it's a whole new level, and Mum is so scared that the neighbours are going to call the people on her,
Yeah.
um, and they'll take the girls away. But the problem is, it'll be over the most pettiest thing, like go to bed.
Right.
And since she's been with her new partner, that's when it's all. She was nice and settled, and then she got a new partner, and it's just triggered her back off again. So now we're back to square one again, bringing her back. So, it's just. It's funny though. I go in after a certain time, and I'll start calming her down and talking to her and making her stop and think. That's her biggest problem. When she goes right off her absolute nana, she forgets pretty much straight away what she was yelling and screaming about, and she doesn't hear you.
Right.
So you have to stop her and make her breathe properly, because that's the first thing I noticed. Her breathing goes. She
Yep.
hyperventilates herself.
Yep.
So if you can stop her before she can do it, then
Had the
you're
same
fine.
issue. He,
Sorry?
my oldest son had similar issues. He's actually in the same pervasive development disorder. It's the same spectrum that autism falls under.
Well, this
So
one's
I completely understand.
well, Serenity's father has Asperger's. So
Thank you, Trey, for your donation.
hi Trey. Hope everything went well this morning. I was on Loki this morning. I was
Oh, yeah.
Loki. Yeah.
I'm not
Uh,
awake after that yet in the morning.
I'm just getting up, getting ready to go to work. So I put the headphones on and away I go. And I sit there eating my breakfast. And then I drive to work listening to him. So, yeah.
Yeah, because you work second shift,
Actually, technically my shift's the third shift.
third shift. I
Or
do.
the first, depending on which way you're going from. So, yeah, I start at 1 a.m. in the morning, although of late I've been starting at 12:30. So, yeah, because one of the girls is away, crook. So I do her setup, which is pays the bills.
Yeah, I
Pays
feel
the
like.
bills. I'd love to be able to do this full time. I really would. I'd be in my element. Like I said, the only reason why I got into art is because I got into resin first, and I just wanted to make my incense burners. I'm going to show you one here to be finished off. So it's just
Very cool.
That one's semi-precious stone, so that one's got to have its holes drilled into it. So that's what got me into resin. And then I was watching ATD actually, and then next thing I know, I'm thinking, oh, I've got a bit of resin left over. Let's have a go at that. Oh, let's have a go at this. Oh, let's have a go. Next thing you know, I'm doing geodes.
Yes,
And
but you do
tables.
geodes. I'm not. I'll say it loud and I say it proud. I'm not a huge fan of geodes. It's just not my thing. They're very beautiful, but I have no interest in making them. And why should I when there's people like you that make them way better than I ever could? So
Thank you.
I that's one of the things that I've always noticed about certain people is that they make way better geodes than I ever could. So I'm not even going to try. It's like, I'll just wait until there's something that speaks to me. So
I just remembered something.
what's that?
I said to Cheryl last week, I asked her if she had seen Super 7, and it's another crystal, and it's got 7 elements in it, and I've left it in my room. I forgot all about it. Sorry, Cheryl. I meant to grab it, and I forgot.
You're going to be on our Palooza tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, if you want me to, yeah. Yeah, I'll
Well,
bring it out to the shed so I remember.
We're doing the free-for-all thing this week again. I'm going to
Okay,
put
cool.
it up there, and whoever shows up, because just, it's been a really crazy, chaotic week, and I haven't been able to schedule anything other than sleep.
All right, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow as well then.
Awesome.
Providing the boss doesn't want to be a pain in the bum again. But anyway, we get that. Moving right along. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
Like a leg.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you were on a deserted island or if you were on a trip and you could only take 3 items with you to the island that you end up being deserted on, what 3 items would you bring with you?
Fishing rod and tackle. Drawing stuff. And a dog.
A dog.
And a dog. Gotta have some company.
But, what about Wilson? Wilson. Sorry.
Yeah, nah, not my cup of tea, I'm sorry.
It's one of those weird things that goes through my head.
Yeah, nah, there's no point taking resin because you use it all in one go, so there's no point taking that.
Yeah.
If you take drawing stuff, then, only this morning I was watching 2 guys, they built a secret hole in the ground, and it's a water house.
Okay.
And they got a plant and some vines, and they grounded that all up, and they made their own green dye.
Okay.
And painted the concrete with it. And it's all done by hand and a machete. That was it.
Wow.
And it was the most amazing thing. If I can find it again, I'll share it so everyone can see. But it was like, wow. These 2 guys are amazing. They build all kinds of things in the jungle. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if they're building them in the jungle, what do they do with them when they're finished? They put all that time and effort into it, and it's amazing what they do. It really is. Really amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some of those videos where they're making like an underground pool or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, it's most probably the same guys. And yeah, if you get stranded on a deserted island, it's where there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
you put your mind to anything, it's like, right, I need this. How can I do it? And you just sit back and away you go. And eventually you nut it out. Like that guy with Wilson. I mean,
Yep.
it nearly sent him around the twist, but yeah, he used the packages that had been washed up on the shore, and he found food, and he made it. Where there's a will, there is a way. It may not be the way that everybody else thinks of doing something, but I've always been a bit backward.
I
Look
was
at things from a different angle.
backward and everybody else is backwards. So that's kind of how I go about it.
Now, when it comes to things like, I see things out of necessity. So I used to do scrapbooking long time ago, and I had all these ink pads, and I got sick and tired of taking them all out and then putting them all back into the box and then taking them all out, and I thought, no, I know what I'll do. I made myself a holder because they had matching pens as well. So I drew it up on a bit of graph paper, and I just looked at it. I measured them up as I went along, and I measured it all out, and my mum's got it now. It's a turntable, and it just sits in the middle of the table, and I can spin it around. I can see what colour everything is because I put the names on the side of them, and all the pens are in order with them, and yeah, and it was great. And I knew when one was missing and when I needed to get more, and yeah, it was a lot easier. But Mum does more scrapbooking than I do these days, so I left it with her.
Yeah, I have a bunch of scrapbooking stuff, but I don't use it for scrapbooking. I use it for all the other stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I'll find other uses for it. So it's like the cardboard that I use to make the turntable. It was actually designed for books and stuff like that. Nina, what?
I see it.
Oh, you see it? I see it. All right, come on, quick.
What?
See? Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Wee.
The question
Yes, Baba.
is
No. Bye.
ask the question. Just wondering what kind of camera you are using to stream this.
Who, me?
Her or me?
Well, he just put it out there for
Okay.
either one of you.
What are you using? What camera are you using, Sue, to stream?
I'm using a Logitech camera.
So am I.
Mine's one of the whiz bang flash ones, only because I ordered a 1080, and I think it was, and it was taking forever and forever and forever and forever and ever and ever to come in. And I went back to the guy and I said, are these bloody cameras in yet? I go live like today in half an hour. And that was my first Annapalooza with you.
Okay.
And all of a sudden it's like, oh, Sue, come in and see me, and yeah, I'll give you this. And I rushed from work to Harvey Norman, grabbed the camera off him. His boss was not particularly impressed with him because it was like twice the price.
Right.
And yeah, so I got this whiz bang flash one, and yeah, it's so easy to use. It's just, I only use it to go live though,
Right.
because I find trying to record with it, I've got a new computer as well, so I'm still trying to find my way around on how to edit stuff and that on my computer, but I find it much easier to, when I do stuff for my channel, to record it on my phone and do it that way.
Yeah.
I just
get that.
find it easier.
I'm having a hard time getting my computer and my phone to talk to each other. So
I don't have that problem. My phone's constantly asking me, do you want me to sync with your computer? And it's like, well, not at the moment, thank you.
Thank you for being so jolly helpful, but no.
Yeah, it's always the most inappropriate time it starts asking me. I'm surprised it hasn't asked me now. But yeah, it's just one of those things, you know. What's your next question?
No, hang on, I need the mouse for a second, babe. Thank you. Hang on. No,
You're using a Logitech too, right?
Yep, I'm using a Logitech too. I'll do a close up in a minute. I gotta move my question. See, this is the fun part about moving your host setup.
Mm-hmm. You got to get used to a new one.
Like, I only have one mouse, but I've got 2 people, so it's like I gotta figure out how to get my mouse arrow down to. Here we go. There we go. So what would you tell 16-year-old you?
Stay single. Don't get married so young. And enjoy life more before diving into the big stuff.
The big stuff?
Yeah. And tell the army warrant officer to stick it up his Oompa Loompa and join the army like I was going to.
His Oompa Loompa. That sounds painful. Are you sticking it in Oompa, or are you sticking it in Oompa Loompa? Never mind. My brain is just going off on its own little track.
Yeah. An Oompa Loompa to me is stick my foot up his butt. The only problem is I'd lose my shoe because it'd never come back out again. He told me that, and my mum, because my mum was with me as well. He said, because I wanted to be a motor mechanic, and I was so into cars back then it wasn't funny, and so we went into the recruiting van, and we were at an open day on one of the army bases down in Melbourne, and said, Mum looked at him and said, my daughter wants to be a motor mechanic. And he took one look at me, looked at her and said, no, you need HSC for that. And it turned out to be the biggest crock of doo-doo that you'd ever heard. So, that. Then we found out that, you didn't need it. And had I joined the army when I wanted to, I'd be looking at most probably being in the army about 25 years by now, had I joined. So, yeah, it's really disappointing when you go for interview after interview after interview. Mind you, we are going back quite a few years. I mean, I'm 53 now. We're talking about when I was 16, 17, wanting to be a motor mechanic.
It's a lot bit different now. So, yeah.
Yeah, the real, excuse the terminology, the really shitty part about it was 2 years later, girls were getting apprenticeships left, right and centre, and I was already too old for them.
Right.
I was 19 and too old to do an apprenticeship by then, and it's like, you are kidding me. I could have been up there with, running one of the racing teams by now, because that's what I enjoyed. That's what I was looking at. But I thought, nah, well, stuff it. If they don't want me, then I don't want them. So
I love your terminology. Stuff it.
Yeah, well, stuff it.
I get it. It's like where I drop an F-bomb, you say stuff it. I got to remember this, so next time I tell on that instead of the F you part because that usually gets me in trouble. So,
Do you know what I found myself doing?
what's that?
You know how you say flop it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I found myself doing that. It's like,
Thank my daughter for that
flop
one.
it. Yeah.
My daughter was, I think, in 5th grade.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "What the flop?" You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the flop, Mom? I'm like, "I'm sorry." You know, she almost got detention for it too, and I'm like, you know what? You can't get mad at her for saying flop when people say cheese and rice instead of other things, or they say, "Oh shoot," you know, instead of the other word. It's the same thing. How can you get mad at her for that? She's censoring herself. Shut the F up, you know?
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Whatever. So, okay, one final question before the lightning round here. In this troubled world that we live in, what are 3 things that bring you joy?
It's a cliche, but it'd be my grandkids.
That's not cliche. That's honest.
My art.
Mm-hmm.
And my mum.
And your mom. Awesome.
My mum. Yeah, my mum and I are close. We've always been close because with the turmoil that we had when I was little, you know, it was always just her and I. Always
Right.
just her and I. And yeah, it always was because I'm an only child. I have no siblings. I didn't have stepbrothers and stepsister until later in life. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Mum and I have always been there for one another. I just thank God that we were living with Mum when she had her fall. She was in the kitchen and she remembers turning the kettle on and turning around for something, and she was on the floor. I was actually at an expo, and it's not an art expo. It was a health and harmony expo because I'm into the singing bowls and the tarot cards and the energy healings. And it's funny how people would just walk up to you and start asking you questions, and you tilt the head to the side and look at them and say, well, did you think about doing this? Did you think about doing that?
Right.
And you need this, or they'll be playing a bowl and it won't play for them, and you tell them, well, the bowl picks you, not the other way around. And they look at you, you know, total and utterly balmy, as if, you know, you're talking doo-doo.
Right.
It's like, but no, it's true. I've actually physically seen it happen. And I can see the bowl. It's glaring at me. It's literally sparkling at me, saying, it's not that one, it's me. And I'd say, all right, well, here, try this one. And yeah, I see energy in people. I see energy around me. It sounds very Jedi-ish. But
Hey,
I'm sorry, but folks, but
whatever works
it's
for
true.
you.
I
Whatever
can
works
see
for you.
when people have an energy problem.
Yep.
You know how Erica's always going off about, and the dogs are running off and barking at the oddest time.
Yeah.
I know why they're barking.
They see something. They feel something. Animals are sensitive to all that stuff. I'm a firm
Yeah.
believer in that.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually seen Erica's father standing behind her while she was doing some art when he first passed.
Oh
I've
goodness.
seen the little cat it's a fluffy cat. It's kind of grey, whitish. I think it's part Persian, and that's what the dogs are barking at.
Hi.
Hey, Bubba, you go and see Mummy, please. Okay, you stay inside. You got no shoes on, you'll get cold feet. Yeah, cold feet. Yeah. Oi, see what I got to live with?
But it's so much fun. They're only little for
Yeah, they're only little for so long, but sometimes I wish they would just grow up just a little bit more.
No, don't wish that. Say, I got a quick question from Cheryl that she wanted me to answer real quick, and it was more directed towards the live streaming and stuff like that. So she asked, who on YouTube should people see to get good advice about cameras and other equipment for streaming? If you are going to be using your phone, which 90% of the new phones that are out, like the flagship phones that have been out in the last year, have a better camera on them than some DSLRs out there, and they're less expensive. So if you have, like I've used my my Samsung Note 10 Plus. If you have an iPhone 9, 10, 11, those all have really great phones. So D. Niman is my guy for any kind of mobile anything. And he's that guy for me. Otherwise, I think it's video influencers, Sean Cannell and Benji Travis. They have all kinds of hints and tricks and stuff that for cameras, capture cards, all that stuff. They help up with that. Also, if you catch Nick Nimmons live on Saturday mornings, they sometimes bring in people that can help you out with all of that. So those are my go-to people. The links for Nick Niman, D. Niman, and I do believe I have Sean Cannell down there, video influencers, down in the description box below. So I hope that helps you guys out. Sue, before we get to the lightning round, do you want to do a close-up of what you've accomplished tonight on your piece?
Not a bloody lot, actually. I have not done very much. In between you chatting to you and a little 3.5-year-old coming in, I've done about that much. So it's not. I've gone from about there to there. That's
okay.
it. So yeah. Apart from that, there's no real point.
That's a really big piece. So
Yeah, she's 24 by 24.
Oh,
so.
goodness.
Yeah, she my next dilemma is working out what I'm going to do around this, if anything.
Right.
I did notice that when I stand her up, you can actually see the blotching in the where I've painted the borders in. So I need to rethink that idea, and I think that's going to have to be that stuff, the extender. That'll be an experiment. So yeah, apart from that, I haven't really done very much to her, apart from add in more of the mica flakes, which I'm using these guys, and alcohol inks, whether they are metallic or normal or plain, do actually dye them. It does take on the dye. With the metallic ones.
With resin coloring or food coloring or paint, or what do you, alcohol ink?
I use alcohol inks to color them. I've been with the metallic ones though. I find that you have to you put them into a cup. Where's my cups? Hang on. You get your cups like so. You put your flakes in, you put your alcohol in top, put another one over the top, and shake like a cocktail. And when you take the lid off, don't have it near your face because you'll knock yourself out. Mm-hmm. It's potent, really, really potent. So then once you've got them in there and you've got enough so that it's soaked up most of the dye, I find if you get a couple of pieces of paper toweling, put them down and then spread them out on the toweling so that they can dry. And then that way you wind up with that. All nice and sparkly.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I missed it. I was fussing.
Okay.
You know how you get futz with stuff, and it's like, okay, I gotta walk away. All right.
So,
Let me give you a close up of my painting here, and,
yep, go for it.
lightning round, and then we're gonna go join Trey from Max World Entertainment on his channel, and we're gonna go read him and show him some love. So here, sorry, I had to move the I got cords and cables everywhere. I haven't had a chance to tie them back, but this is what I got this far.
Pretty.
I
love that section.
I went a little wild on the wispies, but I'm kind of liking it. So
go with the flow. That's cool.
With it. I love the colors layer and the little cells that popped up. And there are metallics in here. It's a blue metallic and purple metallic and the iridescent white that I mixed up. So it doesn't look like a flower unless it's like some kind of underwater flower, I guess. Maybe alien flower. I don't know. But it's fun.
Nothing wrong with an alien flower?
No, absolutely.
Maybe it's from Vulcan.
It's a Vulcan flower. There we go.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So it is time for everybody's favorite part of Tish Talk, and that is the lightning round. Pew, 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 pew.
Yep. Okay.
And what's going to happen is I've got 13 questions that are this or that question. So you just tell me which one you prefer over the other kind of thing. So, and this goes really fast. So just off the cuff kind of thing. All right?
Okay.
And here we go. Number 1, dark chocolate or white chocolate?
Dark chocolate.
Ugh, yum. Number 2, cat or dog?
Dog. Actually, both.
Okay. Number 3, country or rock?
Rock.
Number 4, organized or chaos?
I'm a bit of both.
Okay, organized chaos it is. Number 5, cheeseburger or taco?
Taco.
Taco. Number 6, zoo or aquarium?
Sorry, I missed that one.
Zoo or aquarium?
Zoo. I'm over the aquariums at SeaWorld.
Okay. Number 7, comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Number 8, blue or pink?
Mix them together, get purple.
My kind of girl. Number 9, macaroni salad or potato salad? Do you have that over there?
We actually have a hot potato salad. We call it pasta salad over here.
Okay.
And me being me, I'd mix the two together.
You're just mixing everything together. So number 10, library or museums?
Oh, museum.
Number 11, car or truck?
I'll have a truck towing a car.
There you go. Number 12, dawn or dusk?
I like both.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get, believe it or not, you do get two different lights because of the temperatures of the day. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I like both. Dawn would be mainly aimed at Anzac Day. My family was very military.
Okay.
And yeah, and 9 times out of 10, sometimes when I come home from work, I'm actually seeing it. Especially on the off-peak times, we go home pretty early, and sometimes we manage to get home in time to see the sunrise. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, number 13, pancakes or waffles?
Oh, gotta go the pancake.
Okay.
Gotta go the pancakes.
Okay.
Only because there's a pancake manor here in Brisbane. They are so yum. They make them with buttermilk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We we drove by an IHOP, and I said the only thing that's good at IHOP anymore is their pancakes. So, yep, I get it. I get it. There's something in their batter. It's probably some kind of drug or something, but I don't care. They taste good. So, anyway, I just want to take a moment to thank you, Sue, for joining me. I know you have to work today, and you got to work tonight or tomorrow, or because you're actually it's like 10 a.m. there, right, or 11 a.m. something like that.
It's 6 minutes past 11 over here a.m.
Okay, yeah.
You guys are 15.
You're already in Wednesday.
Yeah, you guys are 15 hours behind us.
Right. So yeah. So
I'm in your future.
Well, kind of, yeah. Because you're going to be on Artapalooza tomorrow night, so you are in my future. Yes. So thank you for joining me, Sue. I appreciate it. I'm sure all the people in chat loved hearing your stories because I know I do, and I love seeing your art, even if you didn't make as much progress on it as we probably would have hoped, because we chat and we talk and we, talk about art. So no, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, Artapalooza is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here on the channel. Look for us going live then. I don't know who's going to be there. I'm just going to put the link out there and see who shows up. So it might be just you and me again, Stu. Who knows? So thank you.
Carol will have to come in, surely. Doris will show up, won't you, Doris?
We'll see who shows up. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants for the next couple of weeks here. So
sometimes that's the best thing to do.
I just, I've got so many things going on. I got to focus on the ones that are, the most important. So, but
whatever floats your boat.
Artapalooza is very important to me, but so is my website, and so is making my art and doing the stuff. So I got to make sure I focus on those things first, and then I can focus on other things. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. Remember, go over and read Trey's channel, Max World Entertainment. I'm sure someone's got a link somewhere if it's not already been posted in chat. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Have a great night. Peace, love, and happiness.
Bye, everybody.